destination. Okay, this is down finished.
Welcome back to American Truck Simulator. This is David Steele, and this is the revised Red Thunder. So, the more sharp-eyed amongst you will have noticed that I've had some work done to her, and I've also moved location. We're in El Paso, Texas, and the white has become yellow, and the long wheelbase sleeper has become a short wheelbase day cab. We're using the Cummins X12 Performance under the hood today. That's the 500 horsepower engine, because we should. I'm going to run through a few light tests, just want to make sure everything works or everything will. And then we're going to go to work today, but I would rather it not be snowing. Because, well, two reasons. One, big impact to the frame rate. And two, it's hard to see where I'm going. Right, well, sit back. Once these lights are all checked, we'll make like a tree, we'll get out of here, and we'll get some work on. And if all goes well, we'll be taking the 62 east out of El Paso towards New Mexico ultimately, because I'd like to go through some hill country in the snow, or at least with snow on the hills. Oh, and one other thing, I got me a mid-lift. Here we are at Wilbert, and the cargo is just around the corner. We're taking Christmas gifts again because it's almost Christmas. Well, by the time you're watching this, it may be after Christmas. In fact, it probably will be. So I'm going to go ahead and back up, see if I can get this trailer hitched up first time. If you've watched the channel, you'll know I have really struggled with advanced trailer coupling and the long wheelbase W900. Let's see if the short one's going to be any easier today. Finally! Why is it so dang difficult in this truck? Wait. It's difficult in all trucks, and if it's difficult in all trucks, it's not the truck's fault, it's the driver's fault, so that's on me. Okay, well, Merry Christmas. Stop that. Oh, that was a close shave. Alright, well, it's still snowing and it's still dark, and I've got plenty of time, so I think I'm going to just shut the truck down and take a nap, because, yeah, because snow. It's far too Christmassy. So on the one hand, I really enjoy the detail that SCS put into the game. But on the other hand, why did it have to take me right past the front of this Walbert store? I mean, really? Well, anyway. Still, I suppose for 8:30 in the morning it's kind of quiet, which works for me. Alright, so after this electrical substation on the right, we turn right, and looks like the highway's just up here on our right, so fairly straightforward to get to where we need to be. Right, let's take a look left. What have we got here? Not so much, I don't think. After this, is that a police car? Yep, seems like one. Best to avoid him then. Alright. Let's go. As we head towards the freeway, just a few words about this particular engine. It's, well, the Cummins X12, it's the performance model. Or is it the productivity? It might be the productivity. 500 horsepower, 700 foot-pounds of torque from an 11.8 litre engine. And if you had to describe this engine in the context of modern stuff, it's the little engine that could, at least in the Cummins family. Because it pretty much does everything that you would theoretically need. It's got enough power, it's got pretty good consumption, it's fairly frugal. Yes, the stock sound effects, but that's SES and we'll not get into detail there. So, what's not to like? Now, the productivity or the performance engine's not designed for heavy duty trucks, such as the way I'm going to be using it today. It's more for your vocational roles. But I'm going to break that rule here. Alright, I'm going to turn right, just up here. The reason why I've gone for this particular engine is because I know that the stretch of road is kind of hilly. It's a good workout for this particular engine. I'm also using kind of fleet-friendly gearing. This gearbox, it's doing just under 1100 revs at 55 and about 1300 revs at 65. It's just kind of right where this engine wants to be. Peak torques from 1000 revs. So the idea being, we're going to climb these hills in a fairly high gear. As long as we can get up to 55, we're going to be in top gear. I don't know that we will. This is a 43,500 pound cargo. But we're going to find out soon enough, right? Yeah, if this guy's going the same way, he should be way quicker than me. He's empty. Kind of want to stick my head out the window and go, nice Kenworth, mate. Similar colour to this one as well, I mean, apart from the yellow. But it makes the W900 look so small, at least so short. Now, that'll teach me to not be paying attention when the lights go to green. He's off though, look at that. Always thought that the trucks in the game, the AI trucks, are usually, you know, rocking a bit too much power. Although maybe I'm just conservative off the line. Well, there's yet another light where I've gone up to it and it's been red. I'm turning right here, so... But I certainly enjoy how SCS, the developers have given empty loads on the streets. Well, the light went to green, so we'll use a bit more of this space than we probably need to. And we're soon going to be in the hill country. Well, relatively soon. Oof, Jimmy. I'm surprised I stopped in time there. So I'm using I'm experimenting with my own physics mod that reduces the grip, and you can kind of tell. What it doesn't reduce, though, is the brightness and Christmassiness of this trailer, which is kind of cool in an RGB kind of way. I love the word kind of. It's so meaningless. It's very nice. It's very kind of nice. Come on, lights. Okay, great. So as soon as I stop, they go to green. That'll teach me. It does sound like I'm gunning this engine. I'm not. I'm letting the automatic transmission do its thing. But yeah, that's loud. Kind of liking the yellow and red colour scheme that I've got going on though. Oof, not a fan of that sound effect when I switch to the external view. As I recall, we're starting the climb now, and that would make sense because it's taking its time to go through the gears. Yeah, it's this is not normal acceleration. We must definitely be on the climb now. Question is it going to do it in this gear? So do I have to lean forward? Maybe. Oh, it's holding it. Okay, I backed off the cruise a little there just to try and save a little bit of fuel. It's just not the most efficient of routes, but I don't expect it to be. I've gone back to using the sound fixes pack, so you got a slightly different sound effect here. I'm ignoring whether I keep using it or not. I like it, and then I discover some sound glitches and I go back to not using it, and I sometimes still have the same sound glitches, so yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure, but it does sound nice, don't get me wrong. This is a bit of a performance impact. Ooh, and that ding reminds me. So somebody just texted me, don't text and drive. Certainly not in the winter, and certainly not in a big truck. But it wasn't a call, so that's good. Nothing's on fire. We'll find out. Anyway, something else that I programmed into the X12 engine is I got it to downshift when you use the engine brake. And it's an option. You can define whether you use this feature or not. And if you turn the feature on and use a wide enough engine range for the engine brake, you can actually make a small engine have a pretty effective brake. Pretty effective engine brake. I should qualify that. The larger the engine, the simulation model says it has a much better engine brake. But you don't want to give a large engine brake coefficient to a small engine, because it's a bit unrealistic if you do that. But the engine brake is proportional to the engine's speed at which you apply it. Yeah, I might actually show a chart up or something on the screen, but the long and short are, the higher the revs and the bigger the engine brake, the more effective your engine brake is. No. The higher the revs and the larger the engine, the more effective the engine brake is. So, you have a small engine, you can change down, increase the revs, and you have a very effective brake. It's just kind of noisy, and some people find it annoying. Almost as annoying as the jingle bells when I use the external view. I certainly appreciate the transmission changing down, because I'm catching up with this traffic in front of me. And now I gotta get back on the power because I lost too much speed. Okay. So this is where the X12 is gonna show us what it's made of, because it's we're going up a hill. Yeah, he wanted to change down. I figured it would at some point. A little disappointed there, but could be worse. And the jingle cam still works, so what was that? I think Grimes has done a fantastic job of the scenery in the background and the mountains and all that kind of stuff. I'm using the clear roads option because it's just a little easier to see where I'm going. Our traffic's gone miles ahead. Maybe I'll catch up with it at some point. So climbing this hill, I set cruise to 65, but I think I should roll that back. It's 45, it's going to eventually accelerate, but only eventually. Doing this is terrible for mileage because you're trying to accelerate up a hill, so you're working this engine as hard as we can. At about 1600 revs or 1550. But it's a smaller engine than a QS X19 or an X15, so it'll be using a little bit less. Oh, I think I want to use a left lane now. I'm surprised I caught up this other traffic so quickly. Okay. Yeah, I just told Cruise to do 45 because if I start to overhaul too much, it's okay. Another challenge coming up ahead. So a slow-moving truck in the left lane. This van's moved over to the right. So where's he gonna go? I see this in the road for real. I bet he pulls out in front of me as well. But, I might be wrong. There go his brake lights. Yeah, oh, there we go. Thanks so much. Luckily he got on with it, but if I was going that little bit quicker, I would not be happy at having to lift off there. And I guess that's the biggest climb out of the way, because it's happy to go up through the gears now. Alright. Starting to run out off a little bit on this gradient. Still holding onto this gear, so see if I have to shift down. Another truck in the left-hand lane up ahead, and I am slowly overhauling him. I don't really want to start ducking around the lanes. There's the downshift, and back up again. Okay. No, some of that's me. No, lanes merge, so, no, don't you. Well, when a car driver cuts you up and you have to slow down, it takes you 8 miles to get back up to cruising speed, so thanks, Mr. Car Driver. I'll be seeing you again. And this is another reason why I'm not a professional truck driver. As is getting text messages whilst driving. Yeah, and I was being a little dramatic because I'm already up to cruise, which is good. Maybe this X12 isn't quite so overwhelmed as I thought. It's a pretty steep hill. Yeah, I gotta slow down again. Okay. But just gotta love... who is blowing up my phone? Seriously, lights? Thanks. I don't mean to sound so exasperated. It's like the second light that I've come up to and they've gone to red just as I approach. And I used to just drive through because they were on amber, but that's forgetting the 50 feet behind you that would still be going through and other vehicles would be colliding with. So I'm trying to be a responsible truck driver as opposed to a hooligan. So cruising up to a town, just letting the speed back off, in this case now using an engine brake. I just enjoy this part of the game. What are we coming up to here? Looks like where? Oh, it's a train. Okay. Got to turn left up here, so we're getting the left-hand lane nice and early. That would be a freight train, I guess. There it goes. Now I'm using the extra long freight train mod. Or a extra long freight train mod, so this train could be very long. Let's see. Well, that's certainly longer than a standard one. So, gosh, I love Jingle Bells at the external view. Okay, I guess we can get going. Except we can't, because I can't clear that junction, that intersection. So, I need to stop here. Well, that's gone to red anyway, but yeah. Certainly in the real world, I wouldn't want to block this intersection. And I don't think I'd want to block it in the game for a ticket. So, let's we'll wait here and enjoy the sleigh sound. It's a long train. Yeah, this red and yellow is certainly growing on me. Green light, but I'm not gonna move. Don't you honk me, you lanky something. Oh, now it's gone to red anyway, so I actually got honked by the truck behind me because he thought I could go. Wow. Train's still crossing. I think there's enough space for me there. Well, once the train's gone past, I'll be able to move. But right now, it's still going past the crossing. There we go. There's the end. and this time I'll move off because hopefully the traffic in front will clear the junction. Hopefully. Maybe. Hopefully. Okay. Alright. I'm pretty certain it's just around the corner, but I have another red light to contend with. Hey, there we go. Okay. Just making sure this car's not going anywhere, and it's not. That looks like a Christmas tree on the right. That's just a snow-covered fir tree. Okay, and we're practically here. This is good. Okay, so thoughts on the trip. The engine did fine. Wasn't spectacular, wasn't terrible. It was probably not as efficient as I would like, but we got the job done. And certainly some of those hills are real killers, you know? So that's good.
Go straight.
The route's very pretty. Lots of stop lights, stopping at yet another light. So I think that's been reasonable. I like Red Thunder's new paint scheme. I'm not completely sold on it being a day cab. It's been a long time since I've used a day cab on a W900, or at least this W900. But I like not having those heat shields on the exhausts. I will be able to see behind me when it's time to reverse. I suspect they're not legal, but I don't have to worry too much about that. Anyhow, here's the Walbert, so I'm going to pull in and let's take a look and see what the job's like. If it's not too difficult, I will do the difficult parking. So hopefully this won't be too difficult. I mean, 40 points is the easier of the more difficult parking maneuvers. Okay, that looks pretty straightforward. Not the most room in the world in front, but enough room. Oh, it's starting to snow. Okay. It's kind of light right now. I'm going to end up using the external view, I'm pretty certain of that. But let's try and pull it past, give me a bit of room to maneuver. If only all the LEDs on this trailer would help me park it. Yeah, I don't think I could judge what's behind me very well. Yeah, I can see behind, but it doesn't help me when it's a blind backup. So I got the premise of the idea, but yeah, I turned in too late, I think. Let's try and straighten it out. This is all the easier with the jingle bells playing, of course. Snow's getting heavier. Anyway, so some right hand down. Let's get the trailer roughly pointing towards the parking space, the slot. So a little bit of right hand down now. If I've judged it right, which I don't think, no I haven't. Okay. So if I judge it right, I would just be able to straighten up and slot in neatly, but evidently not the case. So an Austin parking, another straighten up maneuver here. Another bit of right hand down. Want to get the truck aligned with the trailer so we go back in a straight line, more or less. Trying not to snake it around, but failing. Yeah, I need to be a little bit left hand down with the truck, and then correct the straighten it out with the spot with some left hand down. I may have got those mixed up. I think I may have started to correct that too early. Oh, okay. Well, it reckons that that's good enough, but I'm going to straighten it up just a little bit. Let's go forward again. That'll do. No. Back it up just a little bit, I think. There we go. Alright, that'll do. I'm in the spot. Let's see how well we did. So, turn the lights off. I think I'll leave it running this time. Disconnect the trailer. So, 242 miles, 42.1 gallons of fuel consumed. That's between 5.5 and 6, which is about what I would expect from that kind of road and this kind of power. Well, I hope that you've enjoyed today's video. Wasn't expecting to do this, but at the time of recording, I have just hit 200 subscribers. I never expected to be, more than 5, of which I'm probably one of those, and my mum's the other one. So if you enjoyed this video, and if you subscribed, thank you so much. If you enjoy it and haven't subscribed, just go ahead and click the subscribe button. I release videos twice a week, usually, on a Tuesday and a Thursday at 7 AM. But above all, thank you so much for watching. Have a very Merry Christmas, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.